What would you attribute like your catalyst moment that allowed your channel to take off? Like, was there anything that you did specifically?
When I help people with YouTube channels now, I always say, like, finding a niche is the best thing you can do. You want to solve a problem for a specific group of people. That's for anyone trying to grow a business on YouTube. My whole thought process was, all right, what's the group of people that I'm going to help and how can I provide that value? Once you find a group of people and help solve their problem, every video can be based around that. So whether it's making melodies, drum sequencing, mixing, making full beats from scratch, every video was just focused around that. So then when I niched down on drill, that's when things just started to take off.
So you niched down specifically on drill. Did you do any type of market research to find that niche? Like, how do you know that something is underserved?
The one thing I'd say is you have to actually enjoy the beats you're making. So I genuinely loved making drill beats. You can't just like pick something because you think that that's what everyone wants and it's not what you want to do, because you'll get burnt out real quick. So I actually enjoyed making the beats. So that was the first thing. At the time, tags were a little bit more relevant on YouTube. They're not so much relevant now, but you could use tools like TubeBuddy and vidIQ because YouTube itself is a search engine. So you could use SEO tactics and find out what keywords people are actually searching for. So it might be something like how to make a UK drill beat, how to make a Pop Smoke type beat, and you could see how well those keywords rank. So it might be like that keyword has a high search volume and low competition, meaning everyone's searching for it, but no one's really delivering and providing it.
Calling back, got some keys.
All right, we back with another episode of Producer Royalty Podcast, and today we're in the Placement Chasers camp. Shout out to Placement Chasers in Madrid. I'm here today with my guy, Cactus.
What's good, bro?
Thank you so much for joining. It's great.
Anytime.
I appreciate you. I was just on your platform with Ocean and LB, so appreciate that convo. And I'm glad that we wound up linking up the same week at this camp.
And we didn't even know.
Yeah, facts. So thank you for coming on the platform. If you guys don't know, Jay has built an extraordinary YouTube channel and has taught thousands, if not millions, of producers around the world how to step up their production. So this conversation is going to be focused a lot on building a content brand, how to be successful with your content, how to monetize your content, and how to become the best producer that you can. So we're going to start off by talking about how did you step into producer content specifically? What inspired that? Was that something that you always wanted to get into? Did you feel like that was the best way to get into being a successful producer?
So I think when I was taking production seriously, it was probably like 2019, and I was just kind of looking at the game and seeing that it's way different to what it was like 10 years ago even. Like right now, producers have to have their face out there more than ever, right? So I just wanted to try everything. I always wanted to experiment with all platforms. I was posting beats on YouTube, trying to do the type beat game, posting little clips on Instagram. When TikTok came about, I was posting on TikTok. I just wanted to try a bit of everything and see what started working. Because in the beginning, you're just hungry as a producer and you'll do anything to get your name out there. So that's kind of what my thought process was. Let me just try a bit of everything, see what I like, see what starts to work. And the tutorial channel was the one that started getting a lot of traction. So that wasn't even the main goal at first. Like when I quit my job in 2019 just to take a risk and go all out with production. And really, I just wanted to sell beats online. I was looking at big type beat channels and I was like, these guys are living the dream. They're just making beats, uploading them, getting sales. I was like, that looks sick. But my type beat channel wasn't getting a lot of success, partly because my beats weren't that good at the time. But
you had different channels for type beats and for your interviews and for the tutorials?
Yeah, always kept it separate.
You think that was a good decision?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's two different audiences. So if you're uploading type beats, you're targeting rappers. If you're uploading tutorials, you're targeting producers. So it can kind of confuse the algorithm if there's no like clear audience, if that makes sense. You'll have like a bit of rappers, a bit of producers, and it kind of gets muddled up. So I always like to keep it separate. And I think that was the best thing, the best decision I ever made. Because I actually uploaded a couple tutorials on my type beat channel before I made the switch. And then when I made the switch, that's when things just started to go crazy.
The switch being, what would you attribute like your catalyst moment that allowed your channel to take off to another level? Like, was there anything that you did specifically at that time that you think was largely responsible for that growth?
Yeah, so when I help people with YouTube channels now, I always say, like, finding a niche is the best thing you can do. You want to solve a problem for a specific group of people. That's for anyone trying to grow a business on YouTube. So my whole thought process was, all right, what's the group of people that I'm going to help and how can I provide that value? In the beginning, I was just experimenting with tutorials. I was doing random stuff. It was just like, there'd be a boom bap beat, a trap beat, and then something else. And then I was kind of looking around, and obviously in the UK, drill was becoming a huge thing, especially in like 2020, when like Pop Smoke was like, you know, that's probably when he was at his height, right? And the whole world was like taking in drill then. And there wasn't really anyone doing drill tutorials. Like everyone was wanting to know how to make the beats, but no one was teaching everyone. There was a couple channels that would make them here and there, but maybe the main thing was trap, and they just tried drill. So then when I started doing a few drill tutorials, they were the ones that were getting a lot of attention. So I was like, okay, this can be my niche. I can help drill producers make better beats. That was just my simple goal. And then once you find that, once you find a group of people and help solve their problem, every video can be based around that. So whether it's making melodies, drum sequencing, mixing, making full beats from scratch, every video was just focused around that core principle in a way. So then when I niched down on drill, that's when things just started to take off.
So you niched down specifically on drill. So most of your videos were like, do you feel like you were known as like the drill guy at that point, or were like, you know, how was your branding connected to drill, I guess?
Yeah, so I only uploaded like a few videos before I really niched down, but then I quickly became that go-to drill guy, and that was always my goal because no one else was doing it. So I just found that pocket at the right time, really. And I was just crazy consistent with it. I was uploading 2 videos a week, like every week. It changed a bit over the past couple of years because then short form content became more relevant. So I just do like 1 video a week now, but I never missed a week of uploading. I started the channel in 2020 and I've never missed a week. So
Wow.
Crazy consistent with it, finding that niche when no one else was doing it. And that's like the secret sauce, really.
Yeah, did you do any type of market research to find that niche? Like, how do you know that something is underserved? Was it as simple as looking up drill tutorials and then just seeing like, you know, comparing? Did you have any type of like system that, or it was more of like a gut feeling that this is an underserved niche? Like, and I'm trying to make this actionable for other people that are like, all right, so at the time drill tutorials was underserved. So I'm trying to think like, how can another producer find a similar genre or maybe style?
The one thing I'd say is you have to actually enjoy the beats you're making. So I genuinely loved making drill beats. You can't just like pick something because you think that that's what everyone wants and it's not what you want to do, because you'll get burnt out real quick. So I actually enjoyed making the beats. So that was the first thing. And at the time, tags were a little bit more relevant on YouTube. They're not so much relevant now, but you could use tools like TubeBuddy and vidIQ, because YouTube itself is a search engine, so you could use SEO tactics and find out what keywords people are actually searching for. So it might be something like how to make a UK drill beat, how to make a Pop Smoke type beat, and you could see how well those keywords rank. So it might be like that keyword has a high search volume and low competition, meaning everyone's searching for it, but no one's really delivering and providing it. So I was using a bit of like SEO tactics and then just being aware of what was happening.
You were using vidIQ to, sorry to cut you off, to like, how does vidIQ work? I've used it a little bit. You'll just look up a specific thing and then it'll tell you how many videos are also using that kind of branding, or?
Yeah, in a way. So if you think about it, YouTube is a search engine. People go on YouTube, they type something in the search bar, then they get results. The algorithm just constantly changes, but at one point on YouTube, the results were highly based on what people were actually typing in. Now it's just completely different, because if I search something on YouTube, my results will be completely different to what your results are. So tags are becoming less and less important, but they were still a little bit more relevant at the time. So yeah, you could type in, the way I was doing it was, so when you go into YouTube and you begin searching something, it will give you recommendations based on what other people have searched. So you could type in like how to make a drill beat, and then it will show different variations of that underneath, like how to make a drill beat from scratch, how to make a drill beat in FL Studio. And then you know that's like a popular search. So then you could copy that into like TubeBuddy or vidIQ, and it will tell you, it's like their own ranking system. It's not like an official YouTube ranking system, but it will say, all right, this is like a 90 out of 100 score because there's a high search volume, meaning a lot of people are searching for it, but there's low competition, meaning not a lot of people are making videos with that title. So that's how it worked, like at the time. But when I started, it was slowly transitioning from like away from tags and more just, these days it's more based on just the overall experience with the video. It's kind of like the TikTok algorithm, like the For You page. Like most people on YouTube now, they just have their homepage and they pick a video based on what they're based on what they're interested in. So it's completely changed now.
Really? So with your creation process, how does your creation process usually go? Do you plan a month ahead what the videos are gonna be for the next month, and then you kind of start scripting those, or what does it look like for you to come up with an idea and actually execute on that idea for YouTube?
Yeah, so I don't really plan that far ahead, and the reason is because music changes so fast, and producers always want to make what's relevant. So I do a mix of either just making what I want to make and just showing people my process, or I might look at what's trending like in music. So say for example, Central C drops an album. Producers want to know how to make those type of beats, so then I can quickly make a video showing people what the production was like on that album. So that's why I don't like to plan too far in ahead, because you don't always know what the sound's going to be and what people are wanting at that time. So really, my schedule is every Monday, I film for YouTube. I spend like an hour or so in the morning just like researching, kind of seeing what's trending on YouTube in different countries. I always kind of flip between like UK and US to see what the difference is. Have a look at my comments, see what the patterns are, what everyone's been asking for, and then make it based on that. But the problem is with that, you might not always want to make that type of beat. So it's tough to get that balance, because you need to enjoy what you make, and you don't always just want to be a slave to the algorithm in a way where you're just kind of making stuff just for views. You need to actually enjoy it, right? So
yeah. So you'll literally be like the day of make that decision, and then
yeah.
Really?
Sometimes I'll plan it out. Like I have like a notepad of just ideas for YouTube. So if I'm ever stuck, I can kind of just go to my ideas and be like, I haven't done this one yet, I haven't done that one yet. But for the most part, yeah, I'll just do research in the morning and then start recording, and then I upload the following Tuesday, so like 8 days later.
How has your workflow evolved from when you first started on YouTube? Because I know, like for me, I'm just starting like into the talking head videos. At first, it's like I don't even know where to start, and I don't know what to do. And then eventually, you find your kind of workflow that works for you, and then it becomes a little bit more easy, right? So, like, what does it look like? What was it like when you started, and what do you do now that kind of makes it easier for you?
So when I started, it was pretty intense because I was doing 2 videos a week, and I didn't have any team, so I was doing everything myself. I'd film myself, like learn how to edit, learn a bit about cameras, you know, just watching tutorials, just studying. So I film myself, edit my own tutorials, do my own thumbnails, basically just do everything, my own website, email marketing. And then once I started making money from it, then I started reinvesting and hiring like a video editor, some guys to help out with marketing and things like that. But my process for videos has changed a little bit, I guess. I'd say they're a little bit more thought out now. Even though I don't spend hours and hours planning them, I'll script my intros, for example, but I can't always script the full video because I'm always cooking up a beat from scratch. So I don't really do beat breakdowns where I already know what I'm gonna say, because when you're cooking up from scratch, you don't really know where it's gonna go. So there's only so much I can script. But the main thing I've changed is just, you know, you get more confident on camera. Your video style gets better, the background gets better, the lighting gets better. It's more like the production value increases, and the way you communicate your message, the thumbnails get better, and yeah, the intro will be like the main thing too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like with your intro, it seemed very thought out and deliberate, and that you put a good amount of time into making sure that was optimized, right, for your intros nowadays.
Yeah. Although you always think that the intro is like the main thing, and it kind of is, because that's what keeps people in the video. But sometimes I'll do a well-scripted video, and sometimes I'll have it more natural, where it's just like, what's good guys, like today, I just feel like cooking up my own style of beat, like no thought out intro, and sometimes those can do well as well. So it's like, there's guidelines that you can kind of follow to increase your chances of the video doing better, but at the same time, sometimes people just like some real organic stuff, and they don't want something that's scripted. So I try and do a mix of both, but yeah.
What do you have better results with usually?
A mix, really. Like if I look back at the videos that I've done well, some have been scripted and well thought out, some have been really natural and organic, and they've done well. So that's why it's like, there's no hacks, there's no cheat codes, there's some stuff that can increase your chances, but you know, it's like anything can happen.
Do you feel like, how do you feel about editing when it comes to like high production editing? Do you feel like it's necessary or something that really does contribute to the success of the video, or nowadays things are a little bit more organic and that works better?
Yeah, it probably depends on the type of videos you're doing. I think with production, I don't think it matters too much. You don't want something that looks terrible, but you don't need to go all out with crazy effects. You just want to focus on providing value. That's always been my thing. And I've experimented with different editors. I've paid like a lot of money to have crazy animations done and have the video looking as sick as possible. And I've just found that spending that extra money on crazy production doesn't always equal more views. It's more about the actual video itself. That's the main thing. Obviously, it's worth spending a bit and having like a nice video done, but you don't have to go like all out, spending thousands, you know?
Yeah, and when it comes to like, so you talked about your editor. You have your editor on your team now. Do you want to shout out your editor? Who do you work with?
Yeah, there's two. There's Britt, who's been with me for a long time.
Britt?
Yeah, Brittany.
Brittany.
She's really loyal. She's just been around for a long time. She's edited the majority of my videos. And then I have a guy called RSL, who's a sick editor too. He does like a lot of animation for me, things like that. So if I drop like a sample pack, he just knows how to use like After Effects properly and just does like crazy visuals. So they each have their own skill set. So it's kind of good to use them both. So for a while I was like getting Britt to do like one version, then I'd send it to RSL. He'd do like the animation and get the intro looking sick. So it's a good team.
They work in the production space a lot too? Because what I've felt like in our videos, working with somebody who's familiar with the production side or is a producer, shout out Keanu, he edits ours, like helps a lot with it, especially making clips.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how important it is for your videos, but
it definitely helps.
it helps, yeah.
So RSL is a producer and Britt is like sort of getting into production, but not as much as RSL. And then, yeah, you do notice if you have someone who's familiar with production, they kind of know where to cut, because they need to know, like say if you're making a beat and you want it to flow right, they know how to loop it at the right point and they know what to include. Because I've tried other editors where it's just been like random cuts and you kind of like ruin the flow of the beat then, so it is important.
I tried finding, what's the, Fiverr? I started using like some Indian editors on Fiverr to try to save money, and I was not happy with the results really, because like, and I can't blame them, they don't have any familiarity with the producer space. So when it comes to like clipping, our clips are so focused on the business side or things that are very producer focused, it's like they don't know exactly what to clip up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's important to have that relationship with one, because a lot of creators like to be in control of their like everything. Like they're very particular about the style they make. And then when you hire someone, when you outsource, you're worried that they're not gonna bring your vision to life. What I found is at the start, it can be a bit time consuming because there might be like 10 edits the first time around. But then the more you communicate with them and the more they get used to your style, eventually it'll become just like 3 edits to make, like, and then 2 changes and then 1, and then all of a sudden they get it perfect every time. So you just have to get through that first patch where it's like they don't really know your style and then they begin to learn.
Gotcha. So when you say edits, you mean like when they give you
like the changes, the
changes
revisions.
that okay, got you. Yeah. Who else is on your team or supports you with content that goes into like your daily output?
So
or roles or names?
Content, I'd say like just me for the most part, and then obviously the video editors. I've experimented with thumbnail designers. For the most part now on my main YouTube channel, I do my own thumbnails because I like to create 3 to 6 variations and split test them.
How does split testing work for you? I haven't gotten to split testing yet.
It's worth it. So the way YouTube runs split tests is you can pick 3 different thumbnails, and people think it's the click-through rate, but that's not the case. It's actually the watch time from the thumbnail. So YouTube just wants to know that your thumbnail matches the video content. So for example, if you had this clickbait thumbnail that made everyone click, but then they left your video after 2 seconds, it means that the video is not lined up with the thumbnail. So when you run a split test, you can test 3 different variations, and say for example, one thumbnail has 36%, that means it's 36% like watch time compared compared to the other 2. So it's more about how your video aligns with the thumbnail. It's not actually the click-through rate.
I did not know that, bro. I've been so obsessed with click-through rate, I haven't focused on the watch time really at all. So you think I should focus more on the watch time when it comes to choosing thumbnails and titles?
Well, YouTube really just wants people to enjoy their time on YouTube. It's like, you can try and think of all these hacks to increase your views, but really it's just, okay, thumbnail and title are like really important. Like packaging is everything, because you could have an insane video, but if people don't click on it, then they're not gonna see it. But then also your video needs to line up with the thumbnail and title, and it needs to be a good quality video. YouTube just wants someone to click on the video, enjoy it. So watch time is really important because it's an indication that they clicked on the video and they're enjoying it, they're watching it. And obviously, as a result of that, ads are coming up, YouTube would probably get paid more. So they just want a good user experience. That's what it is.
Gotcha. To pivot and talk about the sound kits and production suites. So what's your philosophy on promoting the sound kits and everything on your channel? Do you have any sort of general rules or frameworks that you use to promote your sounds on YouTube?
Yeah, I think the main thing is the product has to be right. The sounds have to be right. And because if you sell a bad product, people are just not going to come back to you. So a lot of producers will just recycle all their sounds. They'll just take sounds that everyone else already has and then sell them to people. And if you build up a reputation like that, it's not going to last long. You might sell a good number for that first kit, but people won't come back to you, you know? So I always think about how can I provide the most value. And most producers want good quality sounds that they can use straight away. And they want stuff that they don't already have. It's like you don't want to pay for something you've already got. So it's changed a little bit now because a few years ago, just dropping like a single kit, for example, might do quite well. But because so many people are doing it, you constantly have to like step up your game. So now I don't really drop single kits. It'll be like a whole production suite where I might have hired musicians to record violin phrases, vocal phrases, flute phrases, whatever it is. I sound design a lot of the drums myself. So the drums that you get in my packs you wouldn't really get them anywhere else. And then, yeah, I always just think about how I can provide value. And then for actually marketing them in the videos, it just needs to be natural. Like I've made so many packs now that no matter what genre I'm making, I've probably got a kit for it. And it's kits that I genuinely use. Like even if I'm making beats off camera, I'm using my kits anyway. So it has to be organic, the product has to be right. And I try to keep it natural. I don't do too many call to actions where, you know, every few seconds I'm like, click the link in the description, but it's good to have like at least 1 or 2 call to actions just so people know.
How do you usually do it? Like it'll be, and this is a sound from my kit that just dropped, and you know, like what will you usually say?
So if I've got something new coming, I usually promote a wait list to build up hype for the product. And if I'm
How long ahead of time?
For a wait list, I probably do maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I've experimented with more, but if you push a wait list, for example, a month, sometimes the hype's kind of died down before it's come out. So you kind of need to find that sweet spot. It's probably different for everyone. But yeah, 2 to 3 weeks is a pretty good sweet spot I've found. And I'll usually promote the wait lists in the intro. And then when the kit's actually out, sometimes I'll shout it out in the intro, and then sometimes it'll just be like I'll be making the melody, and when it gets to the drum part, I'll say, you know, for the drums, I'm going to be using the Pyroverse bundle, which is out now, blah, 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 and you can kind of talk about it then, and then carry on cooking up, like actually using the sounds.
Gotcha. So with the wait list, do people buy the product ahead of time and then they're on the wait list, or do they sign up for the wait list and then it's a free to sign up for the wait list, and then you push the product afterwards when they're on your email list?
Yeah, so I never sell it before. I don't do pre-orders. I build up hype with a wait list, and you usually get bonuses for being on that wait list. So if you're on the list, you might get early access, an exclusive discount, maybe an exclusive bonus like other kits that are on my site, or a production course or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, with selling your kits, does most of your traction come from the emails? Does it come from like SMS messaging? Do you do anything like that? Does it come from, are you able to track that from the way that you promote it, like most of your sales?
Yeah, email marketing is a huge part of the business. I use SMS marketing too. You were asking about shouting out team members earlier. I haven't shouted out Heat yet. So when I was first starting, I was doing all of my website, email marketing and everything myself. And I knew Robin from Heat. They make like producer content for like marketing. So I teamed up with them, and they handle like my website, like landing pages and email marketing now. So
shout out them. I've had a couple conversations with them, and yeah, they do amazing work. So shout out Heat for sure. I know you worked with them.
I work
That's
with
awesome.
Heat now. But yeah, in terms of email marketing, I was talking about it in my presentation the other day, but email marketing probably amounts to just below 40% of my overall sales. So it's a huge part of the business. But I have a ton of automation set up, and we provide a lot of value. And the way I built up my email list was just providing a free product. So I might have I've got like a bundle of like 15 free products for producers. Really simple page, you send to your name and email, they get the kit, and then they're part of the email list. And then with the email list, I'll have different automations set up depending on who's getting them. Because what I've found is not everyone needs the same emails. It's like some people are just willing to spend. Maybe they just want a discount code, a little bit of love like that. Some people need a bit of nurturing. Some people just want more value. They're not ready to spend straight away. So I segment my list depending on what action they've taken, whether they've purchased something before, whether they've never purchased something, whether they don't read many emails. There's like tons that goes on in the background. But,
Really? So what are some other variables aside from those? I guess, so if let's say they haven't read many emails before, what does that imply about them? And how do you adjust that?
Well, email marketing is expensive just to run, especially when you've got like a large list. I think on my list now, there's probably about 100,000 subscribers, and
Oh, wow.
probably pay like $1,500 a month just to have that list.
Wow.
So you need to know what you're doing, otherwise you can lose money quick. But because you pay for the amount of people you have on your list, you don't want the people that are inactive, because if people aren't reading your emails, opening them, it's decreasing your open rate, and then that can affect your overall performance, because if not many people are opening them, it kind of looks spammy, so you might end up in people's spam box. So I set up a sunset flow, which is like, okay, after 6 months, if they haven't opened any emails, or they haven't really engaged, they get put into this sunset flow automatically, where it might send out an email to say like, yo, it's good, are you still producing? You know, just trying to re-engage them. And after that flow, if they still haven't done anything, then it's time to just cut them, because they're not interested, they're not reading anything, it's costing you money, messing up your open rate. So then you just accept that these guys just came for the free stuff and that's it, which is fine. It's like some people just want the free stuff, so you don't need to pay for them, they've got their stuff, everyone's happy.
So you spent a lot of time learning this stuff yourself, like having just leaned on Heat because I assume Heat sets up these automations for you. Do they draft the emails for you too, or like how does that look working with Heat?
Yeah, so at first I did have everything set up myself. I spent a lot of time studying business and marketing, and then I just figured like, I'm gonna spread myself too thin, because these guys do marketing full time, so they're gonna know a lot more than me, because I wanna spend time producing and making products too. Same with video editing. You can learn how to video edit yourself, which I recommend doing just to know a bit about video editing. It's good to have that skill. But really there's someone out there who's gonna be editing constantly all day, so of course they're gonna do a better job. So yeah, originally I set stuff up myself, and then when Heat came through, they optimized it a bit more, introduced like new flows, and we tried a few different things. And yeah, it kind of added fuel to the fire in a way. And
what about, do you have like a number of views that usually equals a sale, or do you have any metrics like that? Because like with our course, the placement playbook, like I'm trying to, we just launched the YouTube channel, like, or at least me talking to the camera, and that's a new thing. And like so far our video only has like 500 views. So I'm trying to like think, how many views should I, of course it'll be channel specific, product specific, but like for you, how many views usually equals a sale, I guess?
It's really hard to say, because I've got some videos that have kind of gone viral in a way and haven't really amounted to any sales, and then some videos that have not performed too well, but they have amounted to sales. I talk a little bit about that in the presentation as well, because a lot of people just try to go viral. It's like they just want views. But if you're trying to sell a product, that's not always a good thing, because if you're trying to go viral, your videos need to cater to everyone. So it could be like producers watching, artists watching, someone's grandma watching. It's just like everyone can have fun watching this video. But all of those people aren't looking for a product like that. Whereas if you niche down, and going back to what I said earlier about solving a problem for a specific group of people, that means that the people that are watching your video are way more likely to buy, because you're solving their problem. So I'd rather have a video that's niche down, that's just really solving a problem, that has a low number of views, compared to something that goes viral. Like I had one video, I think I was mixing Indian music with drill, and it did really well in terms of numbers, but when I look at the sales, there was like one sale from India. So I had this like massive audience of like Indian producers, but no one was actually buying anything. And I think they just enjoyed watching me make music with their culture, you know?
Really? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and so you have a way of tracking this video generated this this sale.
It's a little bit hard to do.
Sales. Do you have specific links? Is that what you generated, a specific link that you tagged to this YouTube video?
I've been doing that now, so you can set up UTM links. I don't know if you know much about UTM.
I don't.
So you can do it manually, which is kind of long, but a UTM link will be a specific link. So you could have your landing page, and then you'd create like a title for it. So it might be like YouTube video description. So it'll say like youtube.com/whatever/description/ and then you'll give it like your keywords for whatever campaign. And then in your analytics, you can kind of see how many like clicks that specific link got, and
Gotcha.
what that converted to. I use Bitly now, you know, for shortening links. If
Yeah.
you pay for the premium one.
And that won't track if somebody actually buys, right? That'll just track how many clicks this
Right,
link got, Bitly?
but you can set up UTM through Bitly. So it just makes it a little bit easier because you click the UTM box and then you add the tag for the description. Like say if I do a Central C tutorial, I'll just type in like YouTube Central C tutorial, and then that shortened link will have UTM like parameters in it. So then if you want to look at the back end, you can see that specific link.
Okay.
It's just kind of tricky because like with my business, I have so many different products and so many different links everywhere. And
Yeah.
I have like almost kind of like 2 different sites running because the site that I use for my landing page now had to be created with a different domain. So it's really hard to track like specific video sales. But if you're someone who has like one main product, I don't know, like one service or one course or whatever it is, it just makes it way easier because you're constantly sending people to that same link. So it's really hard for me to like track what sales come from what videos. Something I'm trying to do now.
Yeah, that makes sense. What has your most successful product been? And what do you think differentiates that product from other products you've made?
It would have to be, it would either be one of my drill bundles. I think I had the Planet Drill bundle. It was quite unique because Planet Drill was about like worldwide sound. So I'd hired musicians to play instruments that you wouldn't normally find, like especially like in the UK, for example. A lot of the loops were more like melodic and quite unique. All the drums were really good in that one. So that one built up a lot of hype because it wasn't just like, okay, dark UK drill sounds. This was more of a fun bundle. So that one performed really well. My first trap suite did well because I do make a lot of trap beats, but I didn't really have trap products on my site. So when I eventually released the first one, was a huge bundle. It came with a mini course and there was just a ton of value in there. So that one performed really well. And then I also had the drill production course. So I was probably like the first guy to make a drill course, but it was huge. It just covered like everything. It was probably like, there was hours of footage in there where it was just covering all the main styles of drill at the time. It would be like dark UK drill, orchestral drill, melodic drill, sample drill. And then there was like a whole mixing section. It was just this huge course. So people really liked it because there was a video for everything. So someone could log in and be like, oh, I want to learn how to mix like Afro drill. So they'd jump to the Afro drill section, go to the mixing section. And there was just something for everything. So
Gotcha.
that performed well over the years.
How do you typically go about making a course? Is that something that you like, how do you integrate that into your normal workflow? And for people who do want to make a course, when do you think they should make a course? Like if you have 100 subscribers, like is that too soon to make a course? Are you investing your time into the wrong spot?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd say you want to spend a while just providing as much value as you can. If you jump into YouTube straight away trying to sell something, it can come across a bit, I don't know the right word for it, but it can come across a bit like you're just trying to make money. It's like you're not a real person, you know? It's just like you're just trying to scrape what you can from these guys. So I'd always say just spend some time actually providing value on YouTube. I don't think I released a product until I got to 1,000 subscribers. I just had something for free. So I was just giving out free loot kits. So all that time I was building up the channel, I was collecting an email database by providing that value of the free products. And then when I eventually dropped something, it's like everyone wanted to give back because I'd given so much to them.
Yeah.
So I'd say at first just spend, I wouldn't say it's like a specific subscriber amount, but you know, maybe spend at least like 6 months just providing some value, and then you could start introduce.
And that gives you a lot of opportunity to practice educating and making content as well too, right? Like, I mean, I know for me, the amount of, by making so much short form content, that made me a lot better at making long form content, which made me a lot better at making scripts, you know what I mean? Or scripts for the course, I guess you could say, and making the final course. So
the other thing is, just quickly, so
it's like practice.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't have many subscribers, you don't really know what people want. But let's say, for example, you've built up an audience of 1,000 subscribers, you could run some polls, maybe send out some surveys, asking some questions.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh yeah?
Yeah, so I'll run surveys, run polls. With the survey, you could set up something through like Google surveys, run that through ChatGPT after. I always like have a look at it first just to kind of spot the patterns, and then you could run it through ChatGPT and say, can you break this down for me and let me know what people are looking for? So it'll analyze like the whole survey and be like, okay, most producers want this, most producers struggle with this. It's like, okay, now I know what to deliver.
how do you incentivize people to click the survey? That's something I've been thinking about doing, but I'm like, how can I get them interested in actually doing it?
Well, the way I did it last was just letting them know. Just saying, I think I've got an idea how to help you guys, but it'd be great if you could just fill out the short survey, because then I can deliver something that's going to be truly valuable to you. And then as a result, anyone who does the survey, here's a free $20 gift card to spend on anything on my site. So maybe have something small that they could get, but just letting them know that you're building something to actually help them, and they might be more likely to like fill it out.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we got to run. I was doing some quizzes for Producer Royalty, like just put in like to test your business knowledge. So I think maybe I'll put one of those and make it more public, and then add at the end like, you know, what would you be interested in? So I might do that for myself. Yeah.
And then once you've got your course, you might have people entering the Discord.
However you're building.
There's a Discord too. So you might have people in the Discord like constantly asking questions, or you probably get a lot of common questions in your email. That's just a sign that you need to make some content based on that. So if you release a course and then all of a sudden everyone's asking you, for example, who should I sign up with for publishing? And that's like a common question that everyone is doing. Maybe introduce a video in the course where it's like just breaking that down, because then you don't have to reply to every single person. It's like, that's already covered.
Yeah.
So you slowly improve the course that way, just based on people's feedback.
Yeah. What about with with your income? Do you feel like it's predictable now with all the products that you release? Like if I release a product, it'll most likely make X amount of dollars, or has it been still like super unpredictable?
It's kind of predictable because I've released so much. So you usually
How many kits do you think you've made by now?
Oh man.
Or e-products maybe?
Individual ones, at least like 50.
50, yeah, at least.
Because the bundles will have anywhere between like 6 and 10. I've probably got like maybe like 6 bundles out. And then individual kits as well. So somewhere between 50 and 100, it must be.
Word, wow, yeah. So at this point, you feel like when you release a kit, based on whatever you put into the back end, you can kind of predict what you'll generate? And what I'm trying to get at is like, I know with a lot of producer income, it's just so unpredictable, especially placement chasing. And I think a lot of times the content side, monetizing content, can be more predictable. So I wanted to get a sense if that's your experience.
I kind of know from the patterns over the years I've been doing it. So you might find that there'll be spikes at certain times of the year, like Black Friday sales week, for example, there's always a spike there. There always might be a little dip in January because everyone's gone through that period of having like the Black Friday sales and Christmas. Maybe people don't have as much money to spend. So you spot patterns like that. And because I aim to release some of like the larger products at least every like 3 to 6 months, they kind of fall at the same time each year. So then we can like look at the past few years and see the trend where it's like, okay, for that quarter, there was a little spike at the end because there was a product launch. And you see the patterns that way. So it's a little bit predictable, but you can't always predict like exactly how many sales are coming through. You have a rough idea, but sometimes I've dropped a bundle and it just hasn't performed as well. And it's like, oh, I thought that was going to do a bit better.
Do you run ads too? Sorry to cut you off.
I've been getting into it now. I don't have someone that does it for me. So when I do a product launch, I run ads. But it's something I'm still learning and developing.
Yeah, I just started working with Hocus. Have you seen Hocus before? He's supporting us with running ads for ours. So yeah, Hocus is, I'll connect you with him afterwards. He's been really helpful with creating ads for our stuff too. So yeah, definitely recommend tapping in with Hocus. If you guys are interested in ads, he's fire. But we were talking off camera about like the income distribution for like different things that you do. So what percentage of your income is generated from X, from Y, and from Z? I think that's helpful to understand.
I'd say roughly like 60% from my sample pack business, like drum kits, loop kits, bundles, courses, everything like that. Maybe 30% for like sponsors, doing brand sponsors on YouTube and short form content. And then the other 10% would be things like beat sales and just other random bits that come in, like miscellaneous stuff, I guess.
What do you do with that information? Do you usually like, does that matter a lot to you, or do you kind of just follow your gut, or do you try to like really zero in on what seems to be doing well for you?
My main thing has just always been my kit business, my sample packs, bundles and everything. Because with sponsors, it's good to do them because you can earn money from it, but also when you do a sponsor, you've kind of missed an opportunity to promote your stuff as well. And it's always harder to make sponsored videos organic because you know, you need to use that product in a video. But maybe in a video, if you're making a certain style of beat, you wouldn't naturally pull up that product, but you want to show people the product as well. So yeah, I think my main thing has just always been the sample pack business, so I try and put the most attention into that.
What do the sponsors usually look like? Like, how do those opportunities come to you? Is that something that you look for, that they reach out to you, a little of both? And how do those deals usually look, if you can speak on it?
Yeah, of course. So it varies, to be honest, but for the most part, they reach out to me, because once you've built an audience, you just flash up on their radar. A lot of big companies might have someone that deals with artist affiliations. Some of the smaller ones are just constantly looking for people to promote their product, because a lot of audio companies, they know how to build the product, but they don't have a face to promote them. So then they want creators like myself to do that side of the job. So a lot of the time they do reach out. Sometimes it might be an agency that will kind of be the middleman between creators and sponsors. But people can reach out to companies as well. I think early on I used to do it a little bit. So if I wanted to work with a company, I'd reach out, you know, be professional in the email, just let them know you have this channel and this specific audience and you really love the products, and you just wanted to have a conversation about working together. And a lot of companies are open to doing it. So yeah, it's a mix, to be honest.
And you do commission basis, per like view basis? Like, what does it look like for you?
So I think
depends
a lot of
probably.
producers do it different. I think the ideal situation is to have some sort of fee up front and to have an affiliate commission, because I've had times where I've just taken a fee and the video's gone crazy and I've seen how much money I've made for that company. I've been like, damn, if I just had that affiliate commission, I'd be nice right now. So it's always good to have something on the back end. So you could have a large upfront fee, you could take affiliate commission. I'd say if companies aren't willing to provide an upfront fee, then you want to ask for a large affiliate commission. Maybe go for something like 40%. So I'd always think about that. If you are going to take a large fee, it might be worth just reducing it a little bit to at least get like 10% on the back end. But then, yeah, it depends what you want to do. Some people just want to have that affiliate stuff to constantly come in. Some people would rather just take a bit of an upfront fee. So it's whatever works for you, I guess.
So you've gotten as high as 40% on some of these products before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And those ones, for the most part, have generated way more than I would have asked up front.
Gotcha. Dope. Yeah, that's awesome.
But on the flip side, sometimes I've done that and maybe the product just hasn't been quite right for my audience, even though I always think with promoting something, you have to be legit. You can't just promote stuff for the sake of it. Like I turned down a lot of sponsors because tons of plugin companies reach out to me, like audio tech companies, whatever it might be. And I always just ask myself, all right, would I personally use this product and would my audience benefit from it? And if the answer is no to either of those, then it's not right.
So they send you like a test sample for it, and then after that, you know, you'll see if it makes sense for it. And is that how it works, the workflow? Like,
Yeah.
they'll say, this is our product, check it out, let me know if you're interested in it, and then you consider it.
I always need to test it first, so I'll say, let me test it, see if it's right for my audience, and if it's the right fit, then happy to work together. So sometimes I just think it's not the right fit, maybe quality's not that great, or maybe it is, but I don't think that my audience would really benefit from it. Maybe it's something more like EDM focused or whatever it might be, and I won't just do it for the sake of it. So you have to have that behind you, because people will spot it quick if you just promote anything, and you know it's a bad product, and you're in the video like hyping it up, and people know it's fake, so. You have to be legit.
So last question before we close out. I wanted to know if there's anything that you wish you would have done sooner, or anything that you've learned along your journey that you think producers should really consider.
Anything I wish done
I know
sooner.
it's super general, but sometimes it's good to be super general.
Yeah, I mean, look, I honestly tell producers all the time to just focus on their production first. But I'm a bit of a hypocrite, because when I started my YouTube channel, my beats weren't actually that good, but I just wanted to start making content to get comfortable with it. So even though I tell people obviously focus on production first, it's hard to know when your beats are ready to start doing stuff. So I think if you wanting to step into content, maybe the sooner the better, because if you go back to some of my early videos, my beats are terrible. But over time, people have seen me improve and people like the journey, because when I bump into people now, they might say your beats have gone crazy since when you first started. So I feel like my audience has kind of grown with me, which is cool. Whereas if you're gonna wait until your beats are perfect, you never know when your beats are right for that. So that's part of it. I think if you're gonna start content, the sooner the better, because it's quite scary to get into I wasn't someone that always wanted to be on camera, like talking, being in front of people. But with repetition, it just got easier and easier. So I think just knowing that the sooner you can jump into it, the better.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if I would have like changed anything, because I always had the mindset of like trying to learn as much as possible. I was studying the business side at first, studying marketing. I never like let one side slip, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of people give the advice of learning the production side before you do anything else and like getting super good at that. But I think that if you would build all those skills adjacent to each other, they support each other like in a lot of ways. So I know with me, some of the videos that I made, like I wasn't the most knowledgeable when I first started, and now throughout time, the more I kept getting more knowledgeable, getting more opportunities, and getting better at the content side, and they're all going in connection with each other. So
I think ultimately just know what you want, because the only bad side of making like a lot of content and focusing so much on the business is there's only so many hours in the day. So if I just spent my time producing and didn't make any content, didn't do anything, I'd probably be way better at producing right now, because I would have spent so much more time on it. But I'm in this for the long game, so in my mind I was just like, there's no rush, let me just do everything. Like if it takes me a bit longer than another producer, like who cares, because at this point I've built up my YouTube audience, like I'm happy with how my beats sound. So yeah, I think just know what you want.
Yeah. Have you ever gone through like a little bit of a crisis between like, all right, I have a huge channel now, it's one of the biggest, and it's, you know, what people, gold. Have you heard of gold medal syndrome, where a lot of people, when they win the gold, they kind of become depressed a lot of times, you know what I mean? So
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Do you ever encounter that?
Well, I remember being more gassed about hitting 1,000 subscribers than hitting 100,000, which is crazy, because all you want is that plaque from YouTube, and when you get it, it's like, all right, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
And every person says the same thing. It's like people love the journey. But I remember hitting 1,000 subscribers meant so much, because I wasn't earning shit before. I left a well-paid job to take a risk and got rid of everything, like sold my car, got rid of like every expense, and just went like really back to basics. And I was just trying to build something online. And then when I hit that 1,000 subscribers, I was like, all right, this is a sign that I can actually do this full time and make something happen. So I remember being so gassed to actually know that I'm heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
But then when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I'd already sort of had a lot of wins along the way, so it wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
I think there's no win that's going to be as good as your first one that really makes you realize that you can do this.
Awesome. Yeah, I can kind of relate. Well, yeah. Hopefully our channel starts blowing up. If you guys are watching this, then please hit subscribe, because I mean, this was one of my favorite. This was the most informative interview when it comes to the creative and marketing side I've watched.
I appreciate that.
Like 1,000,000,000%. We got it like super in depth with the systems and the actual strategy to execute on them. So thank you so much for sharing this, man.
No problem, man.
For sure.
And keep making good content as well. Like I said, I started watching your stuff, and I was like, there's no one else really making that type of content, and it's so valuable, because people are scratching their heads all the time trying to figure out what to do with the business side. When it comes to publishing, dealing with contracts, anything like that, there's a real gap in the market for it. So
Thank you.
keep it coming, man.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the new talking head videos that I make, I would definitely recommend checking those out, because very unique perspective on them. But anyways, bro, thank you so much again, and I look forward to working more and collabing more in the future.
Definitely. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Peace.